and Industrious Gaming is definitely looking to take a step up into the Premier League. So it looks like we're going to see a couple of target bans. What do you think?
Oh yeah, Lord Merc, honestly, I'm a little biased. One of my favorite AD carries to watch from the minor league. They're going to take out his Callista, although his Sivir and Tristana is pretty disgusting, so might see that taken away. Rumble is a target ban. Honestly, I don't know who it's against. Pocket Knife and Merc are the only returning members from the team that played in the minor league right now. So a lot of kind of mystery behind their squad right now. What do you think about Azir and Skarner, though?
Honestly, those are just kind of general bans. I can't speak too much about Northern Hospitality's playstyle, but at the moment, Skarner's rocking a 73% win rate in the first 20 minutes of the game, and overall, it's, I believe, a 65. And that was from about a week ago, but overall, just a strong champion. Turning Summoner's Rift into a Dominion was actually a great idea, because now he gets attack speed and movement speed while he's around those shrines, and they're pretty much everywhere. So he's become just this great juggernaut, honestly. Probably the best buffs to all the juggernauts. Azir, same thing. He's got a great, crowd control, crowd make his own terrain style of domination. And the last ban we see is Mordekaiser. We actually just got done casting 2 games between Spooky Midnight and Sky High, and those Mordekaiser almost, yeah, it almost made or broke the composition. Single-handedly carried almost. So that's a understandable ban as well.
All right, and Malkathos going with Victor, and a pretty good player. His Victor right now is strong, as well as his own personal take on the champion. So a huge wave clear, a lot of AoE zone potential, as well as a burst combo. So definitely very strong. I like seeing Braum hovered, but we're not sure if that's what they're sticking with.
And to touch a little bit more on Victor, he's a good pickup, especially when his ear's banned. Those are the 2 main kind of wave clear champions at the moment. While Victor's E did the Death Ray, it did get nerfed with the augments to where it spikes later in power, and it's not as easy to clear. If he gets an advantage and is able to stack AP early, he'll still be able to one-shot the entire wave and just outroam whoever Industrious Gaming picks for their mid laner.
Alright, and Braum is getting locked in. Cool, so his shield is a great way to block the Death Ray as well as protect any of their squishy members. And Echo, whether he goes top, mid, or jungle, is always going to make an impact on the game through his ability to dance around the fights and control the zones.
Yeah, so we saw Echo as kind of like a 100% picked in the last 2 games we casted as well. He was kind of a flex pick there. Regardless of whether he goes top, mid, or jungle, it gives you kind of wiggle room to mold your team around what the enemy picks. So they pick Ashe Janna, so that's a lot of CC. Those are 2 very good champions to play together in the bot lane. Ashe is immobile, and she's kind of not liked to be picked a lot because of that, but Janna does give her immense peel, and Industrious Gaming doesn't have anything to counter, the Janna, like an Olaf or something that can just charge through.
And the Olaf worked great, although I'm not sure if any of these guys play that particularly well. So we'll see what they do, but like you touched on, Ashe is immobile, Victor is also immobile, so Northern Hospitality is going to have very good positioning in terms of the team fights if they don't want their carries to get picked off because they are vulnerable. Especially if that Sejuani gets locked in, because she'll just come in, drop down the glacial, and stun some people up.
Ari wouldn't be too bad for this composition either. She's definitely a slippery little snake and is able to kind of jump around. Oh, they're trolling us really hard. So Zed and Tristana get picked instead.
But Zed kind of accomplishes the same thing you were just talking about. He's going to dive right on them, use the mobility to get to the key member.
Yeah, and Victor versus Zed is definitely a hard matchup for Victor. Zed is kind of able to get in and out with his shadows before Victor is able to throw his W anywhere for the guaranteed stun.
Yeah, and Victor's pretty much the opposite of a flex pick. He is strictly mid lane, as far as we've seen so far. But
maybe eventually we'll see some Victor support or something like that, but not today.
But they're hovering a Wombo combo. I don't know if they're actually going to do that or not. That could make up for the lack of mobility in their carries if they initiate the fight with the oh gosh, I just forgot what Malphite's ult's called.
Unstoppable
Force. Yeah, so if he Unstoppable Forces onto the team and Yasuo uses his last breath and just starts chopping them up, it doesn't matter if his carries are immobile because their team's going to be on the back foot the entire time. Also,
yeah, so I'm loving this draft for Northern Hospitality so far.
Okay. It's going to be super exciting to watch because Victor can drop some AoE nuke too.
Yeah, I wasn't so sure the first 3 champions, but now that I see they're rounded out by the Wombo combo, I do see what they're trying to accomplish, and I think it's going to work out pretty well.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to mention though is I think Braum can block Ash Arrow or the Tornado, so he can cut down a lot of the initiation that they might have. So it's going to be solely on Malphite to get the good ult for the good fight.
It also may take a little bit of time to see that Malphite kind of come into fruition. They did want the Malphite for the Wombo, but unfortunately he is assigned to jungle, which is definitely probably the worst of the roles he can go into. You know, top lane, support, and jungle are the most common, and I would say that his clear speeds aren't that great, and while Cinderhulk is great on him, you know, he might find himself falling behind in CS and also jungle pressure and gank pressure compared to Echo.
Yeah, and you see Lulu picked into Yasuo. His Wind Wall can block Glitter Lance as well as all the auto attacks. So that could be a volatile matchup if any of the two get ahead. But yeah, Lulu is going to be... Yeah, and Lulu's going to help out in the team fights. Lord Merc is going to have all that extra defense as well as Zed. You could buff up Zed too if he goes in. Boom, wild growth on all their teammates.
Yeah, so both teams do have fairly balanced and, you know, pretty obvious styles of play. So we're going to see Northern Hospitality look for a heavy engage, and then we're going to see Industrious Gaming look for, you know, more outplays and catch-out potential. Tristana is very good at pushing down turrets by herself. Echo is great at setting up ganks. Zed is good at assassinating. So they're not really looking to fight for these 5v5 straight up run at you kind of deals. They're looking more for the catch out support, or, you know, maybe see Ashe overextending or something like that.
Yeah, they're going to want to find these small skirmishes. If they do opt for the full 5v5 fight, Northern Hospitality would definitely have the upper hand.
And there's a lot at stake for these matches. I mean, this is to stay in the Premier League or get promoted to the Premier League, so there's a lot on the line for this.
Yeah, tension's going to be tough, and if these guys can keep it together, we're definitely in for a big game right here. And, you know, I just realized Zed's name is Hidden Shadow. Like, that might have been kind of obvious if we were paying attention.
So they might have wanted to scout it out a little bit more. Have you seen any of these players, you know, are any of these players known for the champions that they're on currently?
I know Malkathos plays a ton of Victor, and I know that from the in-house games. Lord Merc, I shoutcasted a couple of his games back for the minor league, and his Tristana, his footwork, just his general mechanics and positioning are superb. Now, Pocket Knife played support for him, which is kind of odd that he's in the jungle right now. So, he's a great player. I haven't seen him play support, though. I mean, sorry, I haven't seen him play jungle yet, though. So, I don't know if Echo's a signature champion for him or not. The other 3 members of Industrious Gaming are new in the sense that they didn't play with the team during the normal season.
So that's probably why it made it a little bit hard to scout them.
Yeah, and on Northern Hospitality, Worcestershire is a familiar name, although I'm not sure if he's known for Yasuo or not.
No, it's a mechanically intensive champion, probably the most mechanically intensive on this lineup. So he can make or break their team. It'll be interesting to see the skill matchup, the championship matchup. I think top lane is definitely going to be volatile.
Oh, and it is confirmed Yasuo is his most played champion according to the new champion rating system that Riot came out with, so I'd call that a signature champ for him.
So he's pulling out the clutch, hoping to, you know, get an easy W for Northern Hospitality, set them on the right streak, and, you know, keep things easy.
Alright, and we're going to be loading onto the Rift View seconds here. Stick with us, and we'll be right back with y'all. And we're back onto the Rift. Game 1, we have Northern Hospitality versus Industrious Gaming. Northern Hospitality being on blue side, Industrious Gaming being on the red side. The Minor League champions were actually Space Age Wizards, but since they disbanded, second place Industrious Gaming now has a chance to play off against Northern Hospitality, who finished last place in the Premier League. So, there's a lot on the line right now. You could be relegated, drop down the league, or they could go up into the Premier League.
Yeah, and we didn't even get a chance to talk about the invading potential during Champion Select. I mean, right off the bat on the last couple games we casted, we saw an invade that led an Olaf snowball quite early from just a really routine bush check on the dragon bush on the blue side.
Yeah, and both teams playing it relatively safely in their positioning. Although Industrious Gaming was being a little bit more aggressive, they were still grouped up, ready for it. Whereas Northern Hospitality kind of set down a line of scrimmage and said, we're not going past these points. So both teams showing a lot of respect towards each other right off the bat.
If I did have to give the hand in a early game advantage to a team, I would give it to Industrious Gaming. I mean, we saw the work that Braum did. He you know, would put one mark of Winter's Bite onto somebody and would stun them after 4. He's a great early game champion. He's going to have a hard time getting to Ash and Janna, who both have slows. You know, the best thing he can do is do to a minion and then hopefully get his Q off on them. But he will have a hard time getting to them and helping Tristana proc all 4 procs.
Yeah, but either way, if Industrious Gaming wanted to play it safer, they would scale harder due to the Tristana aspect. Yes, Ashe is solid late game. I'm not trying to say anything against her. It's just Tristana is that hyper carry type status. And a lot of trading going on top lane right now. Worcestershire starting off with his E so we can push the wave as well as have that extra magic damage proc onto Zed. And
it hasn't been weaving auto attacks though.
That is true.
Yeah, it looks like he's happy with going for the E auto and then backing off. Whereas a Hidden Shadow, he did start his E as well. So he would E auto. So it looks like a Hidden Shadow is getting a slight advantage in this. And we actually see a lane swap between these two. We expected Lulu to be top, and she's actually mid versus that Victor.
Yeah, she can match his wave clear, although not as powerfully as you stated in Champion Select. But she will be able to keep up with him. So I'm thinking all eyes top lane, unless one of the bottom lanes starts getting ahead. Because that's the most volatile matchup. Lulu and Tristana are okay with farming. Ashe and Victor, same story. They just want to farm.
Yeah, and I mean the same story can be said for Malphite. He's looking to farm up hard until he hits level 6, gank with his unstoppable force.
Ooh, Winter's Bite down on Janna. That's for procs on top of the explosion that's about to hit, and she's standing a little close. Okay, Ashe back. She moved away from her buddy. I was like, don't hurt Ashe for your mistake.
Yeah, this Janna's playing up really far, and she's actually getting hit by a lot of Braum Qs. She might want to play a little bit far back. You know, she still has exhaust. She doesn't have ignite or anything with kill potential. I think that they should definitely be looking to play it for the late game, really.
And Yasuo pushing the wave pretty hard right now. So he's got at least the map pressure if he wanted to roam. I'm assuming he keeps us up level 6, but that's probably a incorrect assumption.
And they're matching in CS up in that top lane. They're both sitting at around 21 CS. Keeping it slightly pushed in. Good trade by Zed there. He still has a health potion, and Yasuo doesn't. Victor makes a nice trade as well.
Ooh, that Glitter Lance clipped him though. Zorak, I guess that's how you say it. Zorak coming out on top. And here's Malphite looking for a gank right here. He can't really do too much but throw the seismic shard, but if he can get that slowdown, Victor will be able to hit all his skill shots. Zed going in deep on Yasuo right now. Worcestershire's in trouble. The Ignite's down. He's got the auto attack. He contemns for the weak, and he comes up with first blood. Hidden Shadow. Nicely played.
Yeah, and that was just a product of that long lane on top lane. And Zed was just able to chase Yasuo down after he extended a little bit too far there. Was able to out-sustain him with the health potions and the longsword.
Yeah, it was a solid play on his part, knowing he could just Living Shadow in. Although, slightly risky, because Malphite had never shown on the map yet, had the confidence that he'd be able to pull it off in a quick enough time.
Yeah, I think Lulu may have had a ward on that bot side of mid lane, so I think they may have spotted Malphite, kind of, you know, waiting in the brush, seeing if Lulu would overextend or something, and I think that prompted Zed to all in him.
Oh, okay. Good spot, man.
Yeah, and also, Zed does have Ignite versus Yasuo's Teep, so he does have the combat advantage in terms of summoners. Just like that, we see Zed Ignite down, we see Yasuo's Teleport down, and just like that, it kind of becomes even.
Yasuo getting close to Echo right here. He's chasing him down. Malphite there as well. Parallel Convergence is going to slow it up, but disengaged fight, no one wants to do anything too risky.
Yeah, it was good of Yasuo to respond to that. It looks like Zed is content with just farming it up, getting a slight CS advantage. Definitely an item advantage, though. He's sitting on a pickaxe and a longsword, so that's about 1,200 item or gold worth of goodies that he's got versus the Brawler's gloves.
Ooh, Winter's bites down, but the Howling Gale knocks him away before they can get any more stacks down. And right now, Ratbed's getting an immense amount of poke onto the duo lane of Industrious Gaming.
And once this Janna starts kind of hanging back a little bit more, we see how easy it is for them to disengage when the Braum attempts to land the Winter's Bite and 4 stacks on everyone. That was a pretty good trade. Yeah, it looks like it hurt
hard. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the power of slows. They were able to disengage and poke down after the Giant as he backed up after the Fort Prox didn't quite go through. Looks like there's some action. Echo's gonna head down to the bot lane, say hi, hello, this is awarded by Scuttle Crab, and walk away.
Alright, so we got level 6 right now on both top laners. That could turn into a pretty big fight, and instantly Hidden Shadow's pinging that Yasuo is missing, so they're afraid of the roam. Oh, you know what I just realized? If Victor, when he upgrades his Hex Tech core on the gravity field, when it pulls him towards the center, Yasuo can ult off of that as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's just another knockup that Yasuo can get his ult off on. I wonder if he's going to do that first or possibly rush it versus the Q upgrade, which gives you the movement speed. He might opt to upgrade that first for that extra knockup.
Uh-oh, Braum goes to clear the ward and the bottom lane pushes up. Glitterlance goes wide though, but Echo's coming in behind him. That's a little kitty cat named Victor, and he might be going down here. Wild Growth is on, he's slowed up, that he's not getting away from Echo. Echo.
Alright, so pretty, oh, there's a...
Ooh, Death Mark is down! Instant flash by Yasuo. The proc on the end of it is not enough to take him out. Good reaction time by Worcestershire. And Hidden Shadow uses his resource, but gets rewarded for taking a summoner spell out.
Alright, so Worcestershire he still has those ultimate versus Zed, he doesn't. However, Hidden Shadow does still have that Ignite, and he also has his passive, the Contempt for the Weak, that does a surprising amount of damage in that burst for enemies under a certain percentage of health.
Yeah, unless you're anticipating that damage coming in, it's pretty hard to calculate, because it's such a large chunk of magic damage that you usually don't have the resist for when you're building armor against an assassin like Zed.
I would have actually liked to see Worcestershire build an Avarice Blade first instead of the Zeal. If he's looking to play passive and has, you know, the disadvantage in a 1v1, it's good to farm up, you know. It definitely costs you a little bit of attack speed and crit, but that's alright because you are getting a lot more gold per minion.
But that's a really smart idea you just had there. Because you want to play passive, you're gonna keep up in terms of the gold because you're farming just as hard, and then the blade rewards you by giving you even more gold for playing intelligently. So
yeah, and we actually see a lane swap.
Yo, yeah, continue on that, interrupting.
Yeah, I just realized that Lulu and Victor, I'm not sure who went ahead and, you know, said that a lane swap would be a good idea. I think Northern Hospitality instigated it, and then Industrious Gaming reacted to it. But it looks like they're just going to swap lanes, giving Zed and Yasuo a little bit shorter of a lane. Who do you think that benefits more, the Zed or the Yasuo?
Zed. Zed's got more ways to get out of the gang, whereas Yasuo has to rely on the minion wave to get away. Yasuo was a lot safer topside, because there's only one way Industrious Gaming's jungler can come through at him. But right now, Worcestershire is cutting apart Lulu in the top lane as we have Echo and Zed diving on Malkathos. The death mark is down. Is it enough damage with the ignite? And he gets him on the last E of the shadow. It was about to go away and he just spins and wins. Not like Garen though, like Zed.
Just like that, exactly what you said. Zed had easy way to get away. The contempt for the weak, the ignite, and the E was enough to just pop Victor and just nearly one-shot him. And yeah, just and like that. Yeah, Industrious Gaming is 3-0.
Yeah, and that's why you put 2 points into E. Or he's maxing E first. I just look. Oh, the arrow lands. I'll get back to that. The instant knock-up by Braum to disengage as Tristana rocket jumps, but she's exhausted. She's so tired. Janna flashes in. Oh my gosh, the Howling Gale knocks her up, but she gets stunned from Braum, and now Lord Merc is forced to flash away, but that's one more stack on Ashe. Oh my god, the instant flash from Echo to get Ashe, but she walks away with no HP, and Malphite whiffs his ult completely. They're chasing him down. Malphite's about to get stunned. Teleport coming in. Here comes Yasuo. Dashing through the minion. Dashing through Braum. Gets hit by a Time Wander, and he's in between 3 people. Throws down the wind wall. That was beautiful. Blocking the damage. Oh, he gets the last breath. Braum is going down, but they're on top of a parallel convergence. Could this be 2 for Yasuo? Worcestershire chasing Malkathos takes it. He's going to need those. Uh-oh. Oh, Lulu's exhausted. Can she get the kill? And the shield comes up. Eye of the Storm. Janna saving the day. Worcestershire gets another one from that fight.
And that's what you get for having an Ignite Zed go top. He wasn't able to answer to the pressure that Yasuo brought in, and Yasuo just turned the fight around for them. So they end up going 2 for nothing at the cost of a turret, and that seems pretty worth for Northern Hospitality.
Yeah, they got a lot of kills there. Although they do now open themselves up to a split push pressure, because top lane is such a long lane that it's going to be hard for Yasuo to push up safely. So Zed's definitely got the advantage there. Oh, here's the 1v1, maybe?
Oh, he misses. He
still goes in. He goes in with the death mark. He does not give a crap. And it's not enough, but he gets out before the turret has time to take him down.
Yeah, as soon as he missed that, the Shadow Shuriken, he probably should have just opted out and, you know, maybe rotated mid or something for the Dragon. We see a lot of pink wards being picked up from the Northern Hospitality team, so it looks like they may try and make an objective play here soon.
I like the pink ward pickups. They need to control the vision so they don't get picked off by Zed or Echo in these rotations.
There's one of them being picked off right now. Actually, Ashe gets caught out by Winterbite. Alright, looks like she's going to disengage.
Yeah, they didn't go in for it, but that was 2 stacks onto Ashe. Right now, Zorak pushing mid with Lulu, free of anything, because Victor's top lane to wave clear. And that's going to probably be a turret going down to Industrious Gaming on the bottom side. They don't have enough wave clear to stop it. That might translate towards a dragon.
This is a shortcoming of Malphite again. We saw him, you know, try and answer that gank in the bot lane. And honestly, Northern Hospitality did better when he wasn't there for the missed ult.
Monsoon pushed him out of the way of the ult, so it looked like a miscommunication.
That's true. But you know, he's definitely looking for his time to shine and give some pressure. They're starting the Dragon Dance, and you know, he's here to set up the Yasuo for the Wombo combo. Maybe start off with the Ashe ult, and try and pick off someone like this Lulu possibly in mid lane.
Worcestershire going hard on Lulu, just gonna force her to use some mana and get away out of there.
Right, looks like everything else returns to normal. They're just sweeping out some wards, vying for control over the first dragon, which arguably is the most important outside the 5th. Gives you that, I think it's at 6% now, extra AD and AP.
It can also be argued. Oh, Deathmark going down on Victor. He puts down the gravitational field, but Hidden Shadow flashes right out of there. Picks up the kill from the Deathmark proc after getting another auto down. And I was about to say Victor has a potential to stop Zed because he can put the gravity field right where he lands, but Hidden Shadow is aware of this and flashes right out of it.
Yeah, and also Riot just changed Zed's ultimate so you can recast it after 0.5 seconds instead of 1 second. And Victor's stun takes, I think, 1.5 seconds of being in the gravity field for it to stun for another 1.5 seconds. So Zed definitely does have the outplay potential after all that. Alright, Worcestershire landing 2 Qs on Zorak. He's looking to apply a little bit of mid pressure. Still has the turret up. You see Echo set up the parallel convergence and walks away.
Parallel convergence and walk away. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say was... Oh crap. Dang it. Oh, the 6% damage on the dragon. Arguably, it is not that strong early on. And that's going to go over to Industrious Gaming because you don't have items for the 6% to scale off of. You're just going off of your base damages.
That's true.
But it does help. There's no, it can't hurt you to have it unless you're giving up massive objectives to take it.
And it also sets up a precedence. It gives you the ability to look for that 5 dragon buff. The earlier you get the first, the earlier you can get the second, and so on until the 5th. So if you get it at 5 minutes, you're looking at, you know, a 25 or 30 minute 5th dragon instead of later on in the game. So the earlier the better on that one.
It puts the pressure on the enemy team. You essentially say, hey, you guys have a timer to where you have to do something. You have to react to this at some point, otherwise you will give up a lot of advantages you could have had. So it's a great pressure tool.
And speaking of power spikes, Yasuo has hit his with the static shiv. Also Ashe with her infinity edge. So this is a very important timing window, them grouping up as 5 in the mid
Lord
lane.
Mert on the other side of the map just pulling a double lift solo farming while his team loses their mid turret. Oh! Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits Braum, but that's not the target they wanted.
Ozid's looking for the engage.
Oh, he's got Death Mark on. Instantly blown up by his team. He was a little bit too far ahead, but they're going to continue the fight. Lord Mert's lurking from the side. Yasuo's cutting people up like a sushi chef right now. That's 3 people super low. Can he pull it off? He flashes in, gets a knockup. Braum goes down to Rat Bed. Ashe picks up a kill. That's a dead bottle of Worcestershire. That got spilled all over the ground. But Lord Mert's in the back soloing out Janna. It explodes, but it's not quite enough. But the rocket jump is enough to close the gap. Zorak's in a dangerous spot, gets instantly hit down. Malkathos coming up big. Oh, but Lord Mert flashes the wall. Rocket jumps to the other side. He's going after Ashe, but he doesn't see a huge rock coming around the other side. He gets the flash with the triple kill and gets blown up in the middle of the rocket jump.
I'll let you take that because I don't even know what to say about that fight. I saw Lord Merc flash over the wolf wall to finish off, I think it was Victor, and then rocket jumps right back over to face Ashe, and that was really well done. It looked like he didn't even see the Ashe standing next to him, but he was just prioritizing the champions quite correctly, in fact, and lands himself a triple kill.
Yeah, he's really good with those resets, knows that he just needs to get that initial kill to get that ball rolling, I guess, if you want to call it. But I want to touch on Malkathos there. Zorak walks across, instantly gets Death Raid, completely gone. And then Pocket Knife is kind of dilly-dallying a little bit behind him, which was good because he didn't get one shot with the Death Ray as well. But then Malk just drops his ult on him and blows him up too before they can even take 250 hit points off of him.
Yeah, so despite being 3 and 4, Malk is definitely, you know, contributing to that fight. Although they did overextend a little bit. That was the main problem, which allowed Merc to clean up. We saw them dive past the tier 2 turret, and that was definitely at the point where the fight turned in favor of Industrious Gaming. If they had stopped before that, it would have been a clean, I think, 2-0.
And look at this, the 4-1 split push again, putting Tristana on the side lanes because she's got the explosion, can clear him out. Oh, Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits Lulu. Pocket Knife moves out of the way, and there's the unstoppable force into Last Breath. Worcestershire picking up the kill against Zorak. And Echo's being slowed. The gravity gate's down, but it wasn't enough to keep him up. Ashe flashes in, gets volley. He dodges the Howling Gale with a jump to the Raptor camp, but Rapid cleaning house with, of course, the help of his team.
Yeah, and there's the Wombo combo. Industrious Gaming, look at the top side of Northern Hospitality's jungle is lit up like a Christmas
teleport's
tree.
going down.
But it doesn't even matter. There's all in. Alright.
Oh, it's a one-on-one. He's on the other side of the wall, but Lord Merc is just going to knock him away with the explosion on and takes out Worcestershire, gets a kill and teleport, and probably this turret, unless Northern Hospitality collapses right now. And I'm sorry, I feel like I keep interrupting you, but this game is epic.
No, Lord Merc played that perfectly. It looks like you got caught out, but you know what? It's worth it. You got that tier 2 turret. It's alright if he dies. So
Hashtag word.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Fail mode, picking up the kill. And here comes Braum, gets a 2-man knockup and jumps right back to Zorak. They're running for their lives. Pix, help!
There it is. Alright, so she gets to the 3-man glitter lance.
Goes down. Ash is going to be able to chase inevitably.
Hagen Knife is looking for the turnaround.
Oh! Oh! Parallel Convergence gets the stun at the very last millisecond. Talk about Master of Time.
Alright, he dodges the Janna Q, and he's gonna...
But slows down Zephyr's on. He gets a double kill off the second proc of his E. He is moving fast. Braum comes jumping in, but Janna so good at disengaging.
Yeah, she's Master of the Winds. You're not gonna catch up to her in the chase.
Wait, I thought Yasuo was the wind guy.
You know what? Maybe that's what they made their composition on. They've got Ice Queen, they've got Wind King, Wind Queen. It's perfect. And then there's the Rock King as well. Yeah.
And I guess you could call the Death Ray Fire. Northern Hospitality have all the elements going for him.
Earth, Wind, Fire, and...
Oh, they don't have water. I forgot about one.
We need a Nami in here. Fizz.
Do we count if we melt the enchanted crystal arrow, it would become a pool of water?
You know what? I'm gonna say it goes ahead. It melts. Yeah. That's how they get unstunned. They get frozen in ice, and then it kind of wears off. So
yeah. And Industrious Gaming taking a complimentary dragon via map positioning and ward control.
I think that was nearly as soon as it spawned, actually. So perfect rotation by them.
Yeah. Although I believe top wave is now in favor of Northern Hospitality and bottom wave in their favor too. So if they can get something in terms of a kill or two off this middle, they'll be able to take that easy objective.
They're definitely looking for it. That's their forte.
Oh yeah, after the Giant took a lot of poke in that fight, but luckily he's tanky as hell.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and disengage. These fights are definitely all going to be about Merc, how safe he's going to be able to stay, and also about who the Hidden Shadow will be able to assassinate in these fights. He'll most likely go after either Ashe or Victor, and I imagine he's going to look for Ashe.
Alrighty, and Janna's got the shield and the disengage, so in this lane, it's as long as they keep their flanks warded, Northern Hospitality should be able to fight on their terms.
I also wanted to touch a little bit upon the CS lead that has been accumulating slightly over Industrious Gaming. Zed and Tristan are both sitting on right around or at 200 CS at 23 minutes, and that is very, very good. 8 CS a minute translates to be, I think, 160 CS at 22 minutes. So they're farming at nearly 10 a minute at this rate.
That's phenomenal.
Versus, let's see, Yasuo is sitting at 154, so he's about 50 CS down, and the same for Ashe, actually. So that's definitely contributing to this 4K gold lead that Industrious Gaming has kind of acquired.
Alright, and Industrious Gaming taking over the map right now with the lane control mid. They've got a lot of wards around Dragon in the bottom side of the map, but they're moving towards the blue side, what it looks like, where they don't have any wards. They should be trying to play around the places they know they have wards in.
Yeah, they should either be looking to split push with the Zed, or group up, stay safe, kind of buff Lord Merc with the Lulu, W and E, and just take pot shots out the next tier 2 turret, so they can chunk it down over time. And right now they're just dancing around and looking to farm. They should definitely, yep, there goes Tristana to push the bot lane again. Although, she should rotate up to the top lane, now that the tier 2 turret bottom is gone.
Oh, Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes barely wide. A nice dodge by Zorak because of the Whimsy speed buff. And just his general awareness because he saw it coming and dodged it. But, right now, the two carries on Industrious Gaming are on opposite sides of the map. So that was a great take for Northern Hospitality, if only it had worked out a little nicer. Braum goes with the ult, and he gets Malkathos. Instant Monsoon from Janna to give protection to his team. Zed's flanking around the side, not sure when he wants to go in for the Mark of Death. Oh, Lulu, Zorak gets the kill on the Malkathos. That goes diving in and dashing out. Ooh, Malphite still has his ult. There could be a key turn here. Parallel Convergence is down. They're all grouped up right now. If only They were in a position to get the Wombo down, but they're still down their main AP carry. Oh, and Tristana jumps in and instantly forcing the flash against Worcestershire.
Yeah, and Lulu and Zed both still have their ults, so they were more than happy to continue that fight and send Northern Hospitality scrambling.
Yeah, and now Industrious Gaming has the map control mid, and with Tristana, they should be able to shred this turret. The minion wave is just feet behind them.
Alright, there's that siege that we see from the Tristana. They're able. Oh no, the Talisman of Ascension is popped, and they're looking for Wombo combo.
Three-man Wombo! The last breath is down. Worcestershire's getting the kills, but he gets taken out by Lord Merc. Oh, and he goes in. He gets Ash right after the death mark takes her down. Malkathos putting bombs down on the team, though. Lord Merc gets knocked in the air by Janna and finished by a death ray. 3 for 2 in the favor of Northern Hospitality.
Yeah, Merc has cojones of steel jumping in with the Zed to assassinate Ratbed after all of that, right in the face of a Victor.
Yeah, but it forced Lord Merc to go way out of position to finish the kill because Deathmark wasn't enough, so they essentially traded 1 for 1 in that scenario, but because of the beautiful engage by Gallicus, they won that fight.
Yeah, quite handily. And it looks like Northern Hospitality is going to go ahead and resort to sending Yasuo back top. They really do need to pick up some towers. They are down 3 turrets right now for a total of 4k disadvantage. So they definitely need to be more proactive about taking these turrets. The only one they have is in the mid lane.
They do scale pretty well into the late game. Both teams definitely have their scaling components. So that Wombo right now, in my opinion, is more effective when you've got people who are lower in terms of their defensive stats. Oh, Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits Lord Merc to slow him down. Ash realizes it's the end of her time because Hidden Shadow shows up. And Echo right now on top of Malphite. Oh, a missed Q from Braum. The Winter's Bite is not as harsh as you'd think. It doesn't get you. And
yeah, that was just another case of Ash being overextended, and that's exactly what they have to do. And we've been talking about it this entire time. They are a catch comp, and that's how they're going to get their advantages, and they're looking to increase their lead just by catch after catch.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what they need to do with his assassin mobility style champions against a team that wants to team fight. Mini skirmishes are their forte right now. And this could be Dragon 3 going to Industrious Gaming. No one's around to contend. And by no one, I mean only half their team. Uh-oh, is Braum gonna get it? Ult instantly on Malkathos, but he gets pulled in by the gravity field, but there's so much follow-up. Zorak comes up with the kill. This could be a Baron.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said it first. I just kept talking.
I got too excited because I love seeing Baron dances, especially when one member is down and someone is key as a victor.
And there's a hawk shot, but Yasuo might be getting taken out here. Worcestershire is in danger, and he goes down. The massive pile-on right now. Braum doing work with his passive right now. Getting stuns and stacks on everyone he needs to. Afro the Giant coming up big for his team. Yes, that was a terrible joke. Giants coming up big.
They passed me, so.
Alright, is Ash going to steal it with the arrow?
Arrow, oh my god. No,
oh, that was so close.
Doing her best to cosplay Piglet there, trying to steal it with a rocket, or in this case, an arrow, I guess.
I was going to say, Wild Turtle's more of the rocket steal, but then I was like, no wait, you're right, Piglet got it with the big one on Corky.
Yeah.
Blind, nonetheless.
With his last dying breath of mana, he steals it with a big one. It would have been more impressive if he had stolen it with a Janna Tornado like Bloodwater way back when, but that's alright.
That's okay, they tried. That was pretty dang close, though. I don't think I could even get that close.
It was, and it's definitely
props.
worth the risk of just using your ultimate to try and steal something as important as Baron. That's why, you know, you can just fire off a shot of a Jinx Rocket or something like that. It'll be up off cooldown close enough, and you will be playing defensive for the next, you know, however long the Baron buff lasts. So it's alright if you use some execute or ultimate like that, because you intend to stay safe anyways.
Alright. So Industrious Gaming definitely got the offensive momentum right now. They have Baron buff. All they need is that top tier 2 tower before they start cracking the base, because they just took the mid tier 2. I can expect to see them either keep sieging here or trying to rotate down bottom to where Hidden Shadow is split pushing on Zed.
I'd have to imagine at some point they send Lulu to go split push with the teleport. I think she stands a fairly good match for Yasuo. While she can't duel him per se, she can definitely run away and just CC him to death and kind of give up on it. But it looks like they're actually going to stay grouped on mid lane and just brute force it.
Braum doing work right now with the shield, completely protecting his team. And Channel Crystal Arrow catches Braum. They're going to follow onto him. Gallius is holding his ultimate. He wants the key targets, but they're... Oh, he only gets one, though, when it's... Oh, he gets two, excuse me. Malkathos takes down Braum. Lord Merc takes down Worcestershire. Echo's getting kills as well. And the Rock has been crushed.
Zed didn't even
triple kill
for that. Yeah, he came around from the bot side. He was pushing bottom lane, and he just basically waltzed up to Janna and killed her without using any summoners or ultimate. So he has that for the next fight, and there may not be a next fight.
Is there going to be a next fight, though?
No, there's not. They're just taking it down with the Tristana, and it looks like they're going to end it right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
And the teleport for
Ooh,
style.
Flashy.
Beautiful.
Alright, Industrious Gaming taking game
what a good way
one.
to end the game. Alright.
Alright, stick with us, folks. We'll bring you back game 2 with just as much excitement, I can assure you. We're back! Game 2, Industrious Gaming versus Northern Hospitality in the relegation series. I'm Thunderdome, and with me I got Lackluster.
Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, so jumping straight into the band champions. First up, we have Callista, which I believe was banned the last game as well. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You are correct.
Alright, so we might stick with the same bands here. I know one of the high priority bans was Rumble. Oh, looks like we have a problem with the game.
Uh-oh. Apparently one of them disconnected, so bear with us.
Alright, looks like there's a quick problem with being able to ban, so we'll get that fixed right up.
Yeah, that Callista ban was targeted against Mark last time.
That's right. Yeah, you did say that he does like to play the carry champions like Callista, and also Tristana is now considered as kind of hyper carry.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the skills to do it, but Northern Hospitality had the team fight comp, and they ended up getting picked off and split up. So when they played the team fight, they won the team fight. But when they tried to make rotations in areas they didn't have vision, they ended up losing the little skirmishes.
And I think that's something we're seeing, you know, kind of as a trend, is that the teams that go these pick comps seem to be doing fairly well versus teams that do the standard wombo combo. The idea was definitely there, and I like the Malphite Yasuo, but I felt like Malphite just didn't have enough presence in that last fight to really, you know, contribute or to get picked, honestly. Maybe a Sejuani or even a Gragas would have been a better pick in the jungle there.
Yeah, he had a one great ult. We hit both the carries and an extra member with it. But in the fights where he only caught someone like Braum and one other person, it just doesn't have the type of impact. You have to use it to assassinate the carries, and if you don't get the carries, pretty much lose the team fight.
Yeah, it really sets Yasuo up for lackluster ultimate there. But,
Turbo Pun.
So it gives Yasuo the chance to ult only the tanks, and while his ult does shred 50% of the bonus armor, it's still not the targets he's looking for. He really is looking to dive and wombo the backline, and he was never really able to get onto them except for that one time.
Alright, so Alistar and Braum, top tier supports, gonna see those banned, Callista taken away from Merc, and Rumble and Skarner. I'm guessing Rumble's a target ban because they keep putting that off against Worcestershire. They don't want him to have it. And Skarner, super OP right now.
Only one really left to kind of question is the Yorick. Any thoughts on that?
I have no idea. Maybe they're showing him, or maybe one of these guys plays a wicked Yorick, and that's their ace in the hole. The only time I've ever seen Yorick work is if you have someone like, let's say, Vayne or Cassiopeia, who wants to hard carry and needs to be alive a second time to dish out that type of damage. So, kind of odd, but Azir, that's more normal.
Yeah, it actually got banned last game, so instantly picked up first round by Northern Hospitality, so they're looking to basically do the same thing. Pick up a band champion that's just been consistent in performance ever since he's been released.
And Janna, great disengage. I could talk for days about her. She's an amazing woman. So much peel, so much utility for your team. She's got your back. Now, Rek'Sai, we haven't seen much of her recently. There was a huge surge at the beginning when she came out. Super strong. Riot Tone backer ratios on damage for the Q. Still really useful. That tunnel, the knock-up with Flash, or just the fact that she's a walking ward. But we see Echo instead, so...
Yeah, they went the safe route and picked Echo again, so I feel like we're rewinding time or something, because I keep seeing him again and again.
Again, and again, again.
And speaking of again, we see Tristana, but this time it's going over to Ratbed instead of Lord Merc.
Alright, and Gragas, another top tier jungler. Disengage, tank, engage, displacement. Super useful.
And again, tank.
Tank.
Oh,
I
interesting.
think I missed that. Oh, Vayne, yes. Everyone grab your spotting cards, because it's game time.
Oh man, and the Caitlyn was hovered there, and I was really hoping for it. There's still time. I'm waiting for the Galio, and next he's gonna pick Teemo, and then Heimerdinger. So those are his options.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they banned yours, so this guy couldn't troll him that bad. Do what? Blitzcrank and Vayne? That's such a dangerous combo in terms of picking it. Is that a Rammus?
Janna to go AP mid. No, it's Aurelia.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna spend about half this game talking about the Aurelia, so be prepared for that.
It's okay. She's one of my favorite champions, so I'll be okay for you to do that.
And I wonder where she's going for that. It was a hidden shadow that picked it, and he still
Gotta
does
hit
have
him with
a
that flexi.
Yeah, flexi. Oh, spin to win.
Oh, I don't want to see Garen.
Neither do I.
I am like so against Garen right now. He's broken, too easy. GG. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's how I feel about Annie as well. So right now, Northern Hospitality is just like my #1 enemy. The only thing that Industrious Gaming can do to make this game worse is pick Darius.
But
And that would just tilt the cards all over.
If we're gonna talk about it though, that's a pretty strong team comp Northern Hospitality has drafted here. Annie
Absolutely.
and Gragas have such engaged potential, Flash Tibbers and everything, and then Tristana and Azir to follow up with the AoE carry damage. Is that a Tom?
That's a Tom. Yeah. That's gonna be a well. That's a flex pick right there. You could either go top lane with it or support, and then have Annie fill in the rest. They could do something like a top lane Azir or something like that. But I think it's gonna be Tom Kench top, Annie support, and then Azir mid is what it looks like.
Alrighty, and maybe that's Aurelia is going mid lane to counter Azir. Just dive on him, do a bunch of damage before he has anything he can say about it.
Oh, Aurelia
could be
versus
pretty
Azir is
interesting.
so one-sided. Especially after you hit 6. Aurelia does have that kill potential.
I guess you could say Hidden Shadows making Malkathos Aurelia then?
Yeah, you could say. But definitely deferring to Aurelia instead of Zed, so he is staying untrue to his name, as I feel every single time I do not play Aurelia as well.
Oh yeah. I keep forgetting you're lackluster, but your end game is now trackpad Aurelia.
Yeah, despite not playing on a trackpad,
You're not supposed to tell him that. Come on.
it's a team game. But the last pickup is actually Lissandra, so I love IG's lineup. It's beautiful. Lissandra got a buff to her ult, where it now heals her. You know, you have definitely been talking up Lord Merc during these this past game, and I want to see his Vayne mechanics. So, you know, I'll believe in him and say that we'll see mechanics over spotting.
Okay. Well, we'll find out how it happens, because fall mode has the potential to be, hey, Lord Merc, I really don't want you to play League today. Have you seen my bear? Its name's Tibbers.
That's true. They do have Wombo on the side of Northern Hospitality. They do have a lot of potential to shut down Vayne, especially if Annie goes Ignite, but it looks like she's going to opt for the Exhaust. Look to exhaust maybe Echo or Aurelia or anyone that jumps in, really.
Yeah, that could be really potent for them, because if Hidden Shadow goes in on Aurelia and he gets exhausted, Aurelia has no way to get back out of that fight. Yes, she gets pretty tanky as the game goes on, but initially, that could completely turn the fight in their favor. It is in their favor as Northern Hospitality's favor.
Mm-hmm.
And if Azir and Tristana are left to free hit on the backline, Vayne isn't really a champion who goes for your backline. Unless she has some awesome flank where she's able to pick you off and assassinate you, Vayne is mainly someone who's going to kite around your divers and annihilate them faster than you take out their team's tank. So, Azir and Tristana have a huge potential to carry it. As well as Worcestershire on Tom Kench can make some pretty awesome saves.
Yeah, let's not forget about that Tom Kench pick in the top lane. My experience with playing against one is very traumatic. I've mostly erased it from my memory. I mean, just the 3 proc on all his abilities, really. It's very healthy for gameplay, but at the same time, it's very frustrating to play against, especially as a melee character. He's able to stun you, block you up, do percent max health. His auto attacks do percent max health. It's just crazy numbers everywhere. That's why I do like this Lysandra pickup. She's able to stay safe, slow Tom Kench, so, you know, able to stay at a distance, and hopefully keep him kind of in check.
That's a good point to bring up, because she can throw her Ice Shard right through the minion wave and have it splatter onto him. And his tongue, I believe, is as much range as hers, if not more, counting the Shatter. So, very skill-intensive matchup in terms of their ability to do damage to each other. But I think at the end of the day, Lysandra should be able to win that because she has the ability to escape or initiate on a whim because of the Glacial Path.
Yeah, and the Tom Kench isn't looking to build magic resist either. That's one of the big things. If you look at, I mean, Vayne and Aurelia right there, those are the main threats, so he's going to be itemizing maybe a Bammy Cinders early or something like that, building towards the Sunfire. He's not looking to build any sort of AP Abyssal versus Lysandra.
Yeah, which is why we're probably going to see Gragas coming out with an early Locket to help protect against that so his other guys can itemize tankiness in terms of armor. Because Annie is not a support that builds Locket. She wants to get Distortion boots so she can flash Tibbers more often, and she wants to get something as Righteous Glory or Talisman of Ascension to help on that Initiate. I mean, you might as well call her Initiate Bot instead of Annie. But the game is going to ride a lot on Rapid and Malkathos and how much damage they can dish out without dying, and we'll find that out in a few seconds here when we load onto the Rift. Alrighty, we're back on the Rift and super excited for this match. There's a ton riding on the line right now. If Northern Hospitality doesn't win this game, they will be put into the Minor League tournament and lose their spot in the Premier League. And Industrious Gaming will be able to take that spot from them. However, if Northern Hospitality fends it off, they have one more chance. One more game. Premier League alive. Well, their dreams of Premier League alive. I'm Thunderdome, and today I've got Lackluster.
Alright, yeah, so a lot on the line for this game. This is the second game we saw in our first game. Industrious Gaming did pick up the W. They ran a nice pickoff composition versus the Wombo combo of Northern Hospitality. Came off with the on the better foot, a hidden shadow, doing his best to live up to his name, and played Zed. And Lord Merc went off on Tristana.
But we can't ignore Malkathos. His Victor was pretty on point. He had great nukes. He was burning them with lasers left and right, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, that's true. He was definitely on point, especially with the lane swaps. He was doing well to handle everybody but Zed. There was one instance in top lane that a hidden shadow was able to, you know, kind of jump the gun and assassinate him in the long lane. But other than that, he was definitely able to hold his own.
And I'm really excited to see this Tom Kench. Rarely do you... Not rarely, that's probably a bad descriptor. But it's pretty uncommon to find a really good one. You can find some pretty mediocre ones, and because Tom Kench's kit is so dependent on the situation and how you analyze that and react to it, I'm excited to see what he's going to pull out.
Oh, just like that, we see Aurelia jump on to Azir. She Qs to the back minion, gets the Q reset, Qs onto him, autos. Normally what you want to do early game as an Aurelia is look for that Q auto and then get one more auto in, and usually that's enough to outtrade the enemy, especially when you're playing something like an Azir mid. He doesn't really have much of positional advantage because he has to summon his sand soldiers in particular spots. Unless you're anticipating it, you're really not able to reciprocate that damage.
Yeah, so it's a great counter pick going down there, as well as in top lane. We see Tom Kench going with the double jungle route so he can avoid the oppressive level 1 from Lissandra.
Yeah, and the biggest drawback to that tactic, of course, is your TP does go on cooldown for 4 minutes. But honestly, they're not looking to make big plays. They are looking to bypass that rough early game that Tom Kench may have versus a ranged character, and hopefully just look to farm up, get to certain items, and go from there and make plays later on.
The point-and-click stun from Annie is going to make a big difference in these team fights. If Hidden Shadow comes in, she can stop her. Or, if Lord Merc gets dove, Annie has a potential to stop that as well. A lot of trading going on in this mid lane right now, but Aurelia started Flask knowing she'd probably take a pretty good amount of poke in the process.
And I'm actually surprised more people don't do this when they go versus, I'll say Aurelia mid, but it applies to Zed or anyone else like that, sort of melee characters in the mid lane that are assassins. They actually usually start Doran's Ring, and a lot of this, harassment can be mitigated if they start Flask instead of Doran's Ring. A Hidden Shadow now has a chance to finish off Malkathos, and I feel like that could have, been mitigated if he had built a Flask instead of the Doran's Ring.
That's an interesting point. I've never really thought to do that. And Echo right now being able to clear the jungle a lot faster than Gragas because he went for the early back and picked the item up.
Yeah, we just see them not really vying for any sort of war domination or anything like that. They're just content to stay their own side of the jungles, farm up, and maybe look to run into each other. But it's hard to say who would win in that matchup. I'm not sure if Gragas or Echo has the upper hand in that.
Yeah, I'd assume it'd be whoever gets the jump on him. And Gragas coming top lane, but that's an easy claw to safety. Zorak mitigates the gank.
Alright, and in the mid lane, we see Aurelia falling behind. She's about 7 CS down, which is to be expected in a melee.
Oh, here goes Echo on top of Gragas. Time Winder's down. We got the slow. Can he get the third proc with the red buff? It's not enough, but Lissandra's coming over the wall with the Ice Claw. Gets the root. But Echo didn't follow up. Pocket Knife's a little bit hesitant.
Yeah.
Pocket Knife was a little bit hesitant there. In Afro the Giant, his shields are on point right now. Every time Vayne goes into poke, shield goes down and completely stops Annie from getting any damage on him.
I think one of the most interesting thing about this, or the nuance about the bot lane that we haven't touched on yet, is that Annie did go Targons. And that's something I can honestly say I've never seen before. So,
well, it's pretty cool because her Q gives her extra mana, as I'm pretty sure, right? Your Q gives her extra mana, so
yeah, it resets the mana cost of the Q.
Yeah, if she kills the target.
So easy stacks for sure. But she might switch it out for that coin to later translate into the Talisman of Ascension.
I think that'd be her best option if they were looking for a team fight. But in lane, I can see why she picked up Targons.
It definitely might give up some kill pressure though. She definitely loses some mana regen in favor of gaining health regen. So she was expecting to take a lot of harass during this lane, it looks like.
And I also want to touch on Afro. Every time Tristana steps up, the Ratbed gets knocked in the air with the Howling Gale. Oh, Aurelia going all in at level 6! And the instant wall from Azir to push her back. But he is out of mana. Oh, the stun by Tom Kench, followed up by a flash body slam. He eats the Ice Queen and spits her out. Gets the kill. Great movement by Gallicus, knowing Azir is safe in the mid lane. Until now, when Echo shows up, instant Blade Surge in, picks up the kill on the auto attack. Hidden Shadow, now getting revenge.
And Malithos did blow flash during that exchange. So normally in this lane, a Hidden Shadow will be looking to pop his ult, you know, maybe get a little bit chunked so he does get the stun on the Equilibrium Strike. Once he does that, he'll be looking to burst
Ooh, Sandra's going in
Malithos.
on Tom Kench, but not enough to follow up. As you were, sorry.
Yeah, so Malithos will be looking to try and basically ult a Hidden Shadow away once they ult. So they'll trade ult for ult. And in that situation, a Hidden Shadows is on less of a cooldown, and it's also less significant to the safety and damage in her kit. So it's definitely worth it for Aurelia to go for that exchange. And she has both of her summoners up, including... Oh, she tumbles into range. Alright.
Vayne's getting stunned, but the instant knockup to slow down the auto attacks to make that bomb more potent. Plus the shield on top of it. Vayne and Janna might have no sustain aside from her little bit of lifesteal, but those shields are so clutch right now.
Yeah, they're doing work. Vayne hasn't even had to use a potion. And we see they actually do have right around the same CS. Vayne might get a CS lead right here. 68 to 68.
Uh-oh, Annie's out of position. Oh, they could have gone in on him. Although Annie only has 3 stacks, so she can easily stun him if she pops a Molten Shield first.
Yeah, she's getting low on mana too. It looks like she might have enough for a QW, but that's about it. And that is important because she is approaching level 6. Industrious Gaming's bottom lane has actually hit 6 before Northern Hospitalities, but we switch up to top lane.
Lysandra's in trouble, getting swallowed up. Takes the ice path away after taking huge amounts of damage. Aurelia bursting down Malithos right now. Oh, yeah, here comes Galactus again. Could be the drunk man. Oh, he's circling around. Uh-oh, the explosive cast hits her instantly into the wall, although the tongue lash misses. She instantly ults and flashes Gragas' way, but Echo's returned mid, gets the stun as Azir is jumping out. The shifting sands was not enough. He was still within the radius of the parallel convergence.
Yeah, well played by Industrious Gaming. They realized, or Northern Hospitality tried to revisit that top lane and get another kill, just as Industrious Gaming did for the mid lane. However, Lysandra still had her flash up, and Malithos did not. So the return gank for Industrious Gaming worked out a little bit better because it resulted in a kill.
And the dragon.
And the dragon, yeah. So first dragon picked up at 9 minutes and 54 seconds, although Tom Kench is still applying a lot of pressure on this Lysandra.
He is dominating right now. I thought Lysandra had a little bit more advantage, but when it comes down to it, now he started to build magic resist. Lysandra can't touch him.
Yeah, he does have a Spectre's Cow and a Giant's Belt, giving him, what, 340, 360, something like that, extra HP to kind of tank through Lysandra's damage. And Lysandra
and he's got the stun. Tibbers is down on Vayne. She pops the ult, but gets instantly Trisect backwards. And then Monsoon is out healing him up. But it's, oh my gosh, goes down to Pocket Knife. Vayne's got the third proc. They're going to give it over, but Afro, scumbag, takes the kill.
And that was beautiful. That was all a bait. Or at least most of it is. I don't want to give too much or too little credit. But it looks like Vayne and Janna overextended to set up the Echo lane gank. And kind of bait Tristana into jumping into that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great read from fail mode. Vayne's out of position. I can get an easy stun. We can follow up. Tristana jumps behind Vayne and uses the Rocket Blast to hit her backwards. Aurelia going all in, instantly hit by the wall. Yeah, so great time to use that combo to reposition Vayne. But Afro steps in, buys him another second or two, and Echo's there to save the day.
Yeah, so I'd like to give a lot of credit to Lord Merc and Afro for being in such a position to say, hey, we're overextended. Come.
Oh, the cask right into Tom Kench. Instantaneous ult out of Zorak, but Galactus hits with the body slam. However, she takes the path to safety, and he flashes to avoid death. That was in the bottom lane. All this other stuff's top lane.
Right.
Oh, parallel convergence doesn't get the stun. However, he gets stunned by Tom Kench. Lysandra's really low. That might not be a chase they want to have.
Yeah, and Galactus on that Gragas, he actually did not save his body slam to make sure Zorak could not E out of the way. So if Lysandra gets CC'd during the claw, then she's not able to reactivate it and travel to it. But Galacus got a little bit trigger happy on that, trying to one-shot the Lissandra, and she got away to safety.
Oh man, Vayne almost half healthing Tristana
Wow.
from just auto, tumble auto, plus condemn combo for the third proc. And Zorak feeling the pressure right now. Luckily hasn't given up too much aside from the one death, and is able to keep relatively close and farm. Here comes Echo. Time winders down.
Yeah,
Stuns on Vayne. There's my Bear Tibbers, I found it. Although Annie's going super low. Mort comes up with a kill, gets instantly rocketed out. There's a rocket jump and instantly knocked back by the Monsoon. Afro the Giant should be called Afro the Great. And another trade in mid lane. Every time Aurelia comes in with a Q, there's another wall there to stop or advance. That jump, if it landed, would have killed Merc. That was so close. Ratbed could almost taste it. Oh, Ignite's down. He flashes, but the burn's gonna get him. Here comes Lord Merc. He's on the... Or sorry, not... He was playing Tristana last game, so I thought Tristana was diving the wrong turret side. Oh, sure. He snipes Lord Merc with the tongue. How does that taste?
Alright, so to recap, we saw the 2v2 in the bot lane. Annie thinks she has enough burst to take out Lord Merc, but he's able to sustain through it with the help of Janna. Picks her off. Then we rotated the camera to mid to see Aurelia 1v1ing Azir. She gets the kill after Azir pops the his ultimate, the Emperor's Divide, and Aurelia is able to re-engage with her Ignite. The exhaust just wasn't quite enough, and picks up a kill in mid lane. Then we went back down bot lane where Tristana was out of position, and they semi-turret Dofer for the next kill. So all in all, Industrious Gaming just got a 3-kill lead, and now they have 5 overall for a 3k gold lead at 14 minutes.
Yeah, and Tahm Kench, Worcestershire, doing work on top lane against Lissandra in terms of lane pressure, and that was translated to 1 kill, and then he, on his teleport bottom, picked up another kill. So if he can keep this momentum going, he's making Northern Hospitality have a chance in this game.
Lissandra's just tickling him like a tickle me Elmo or something, because Tahm Kench has a Spirit Visage now, and that actually does synergize really well with Tahm Kench's, I believe it's the passive on his E. I think it's called Thick Skin. Any damage he receives in the
Vayne pops ult, and Borkbit gets instantly tibbered within turret range. That explosion might be enough to kill her. Oh, the lifesteal is just enough. Okay, so Zorak is ulted under turret, instantly flashes out when she's off a cooldown, so it drops the aggro. And Industrious Gaming playing it really close to the chest there. Northern Hospitality with a great 2v3 response. But here comes Echo around the side. They're not ready for it. Parallel Convergence is down. There's the almost stun. He's getting hit up. Tristana knocks him back in the turret, but he time rewinds forwards instead of going backwards. And is it up or down? I don't even know anymore, but Lord Mort just sniped him but gets instantly barreled. Galacus coming up with the kill there for the shutdown.
Yeah, and Tristana and Annie just want to play League of Legends at this point.
He's going in deep again. Of course, the wall was popped, but that's not enough to stop her. Okay, it is. I lied.
Alright, yeah, that was really close. I was expecting Aurelia to re-engage with the flash there, but again, we're just seeing ult for ult trades, and that does favor Aurelia. She's sitting at about 25 CS lead. She's also 2-0 compared to Malkathos's 0-3.
And she's got the Sheen and the Phage components right now to the Trinity Force, so a huge advantage in terms of power.
And she might even have enough to buy Trinity Force in her bank right now. Let's see, she's sitting on 1,200 gold, which is, yeah, that's enough to go back and buy Trinity Force right now at 16 minutes, and that's just going to make it incredibly easy to see.
Oh, they've got Annie caught, but he's going to go to safety as the same time Worcestershire swallows up Annie to take her away.
Yeah, that was definitely smart to back off there. There's a lot of members of Northern Hospitality in the mid lane.
Yeah, that could have ended pretty badly for Industrious Gaming, but right now they've got a 1-3-1 going on, and top and bottom turret are in danger. Oh, Tahm Kench comes in behind her with the ultimate. Galacus, as well as Worcestershire, have got Zorak trapped on the wrong side of the map. He's got a ward down, so he knows where they're coming from. He's probably going to try to base in the bush. However, Galacus knows better. Throws the barrow in, slows her. She's probably going to try to get over the wall. There's the claw, and he barrels her out of it. A beautiful play
Wow.
by Gallicus. Meanwhile, Azir gets taken out. A Hidden Shadow gets the kill there. Oh, Lissandra trying to buy some time, healing up in the Frozen Tomb. That's an oxymoron. Oh, but the stun comes out from Tahm Kench. Body Slam gets the kill. Double kill simultaneously on the bottom side of the map. Industrious Gaming getting the Vayne ahead early.
Yeah, we saw Hidden Shadow go in again on Aurelia. He lands the stun, pops the ignite. It's basically exactly what happened the last time. Hidden Shadow went on to Azir and picks up another kill, gets Azir's exhaust. So we saw a 1v1 in the mid lane, go Hidden Shadow's way again. We saw the Lissandra get interrupted by a beautiful Gragas ult by Gallicus. And also the body slam was perfect timing as well. So they pick up a 1 for 0 in the top lane. However, that does give Merc a chance to go ahead and just...
Oh, is this going to be the barrel steal? Okay, no.
Maybe. No.
Pocket Knife had Smite. Okay, let's see. Aurelia versus Tahm Kench. Who wins this matchup? Tahm Kench has got 3 stacks, swallows her up. He's got a lot of shield built up right now, but right now Hidden Shadow isn't stopping. That shield was in his entire health bar. However, Hidden Shadow has Flash, but she's not going to need it. Blade Surge, picking the kill.
Yeah, so if Tahm Kench had built a normal Sunfire cape or something like that, he would have been more than okay to face the Aurelia. But because he's building Magic Resist to counter Lissandra, he gave up that potential to be an all-round good top laner and just itemizes too far into Magic Resist.
And that was a really smart call for Industrious Gaming to put the Fed Aurelia up top against Fed Tahm Kench that's not itemizing towards him. In Lissandra, although the matchup I think favors Malkathos over Zorak, Lissandra's in pretty much the same spot that Malkathos is. So it's not to the detriment of Industrious Gaming to have Lissandra there.
And despite Zorak being down 0-2, she does have the stacking Rod of Ages at this point, is looking for the engage on Azir.
Yeah, but why dive it? The turret's so low.
So she's pretty content with farming up.
Or they can go in, but Gallicus is right there, throws the barrel when it goes wide. However, Azir's got the wall down. Monsoon is not enough to heal him up, but Hidden Shadow's here to clean up. He's got the ults dropping. Here comes Annie. Tibbers is down. Hidden Shadow's getting piled on by 4 members. The stun lands from Tahm Kench. Tristana's jumping in. She gets eaten up. Gallicus comes up with a kill, but Echo gets a parallel convergence. He doesn't stun anybody. He gets the shield and has to instantly time rewind back out. He realized he made a mistake. Now the turret's being pushed down by Northern Hospitality. They get the tier 1 mid lane turret for the fight, as well as 2 kills for 1. Oh my god, Lord Merc sneaks through the back and picks up Gallicus. Echo's got the stun down from parallel convergence, but he's getting poked out. Teleport coming in. This fight is never ending. Flash by Lord Merc to pick up the kill. Tahm Kench is looking for someone to pick up. Right now he's caught between 4 members and he has nowhere to go. And the Weather Lady predicts comes true. Fair weather for Industrious Gaming after that fight.
It was looking pretty grim for them at first, maybe a little bit of cloudy skies, but no, it turns out to be quite a sunny day for Industrious Gaming. Oh, and Merc keeps going. This is one Fed Vayne right now. I can't decide who's more.
Oh, is Lissandra gonna pull the trigger? She flashes in, but Annie's got the stun under the turret. It's just enough to pick her off. Good reaction by fail mode. Uh-oh. Ooh, double knockup. Gonna stop it. However, Gallicus is chasing into Vayne. Nice condemn, though, to back it off. Tahm Kench has got him. Oh, I lied to you. He doesn't have him. I thought he did.
There's the rushed Talisman of Ascension. And Vayne's condemn actually knocked Gragas out of his body slam and put it on cooldown.
Alright, an instant rotation to top lane by Worcestershire to protect that turret that Pocket Knife was pushing towards. But they've ignored the bottom lane, and Hidden Shadow is going to probably get the wave at least pushed under the turret, if not some damage. Right now, Raphead's on the way in response, and Tristana's got a lot of wave clear. So, one of those tools that's going to help them get back into the game is if they can sit back and have Malkathos and Raphead get farmed up and start scaling.
Yeah, right now not all the kills, but It was on Tom Kench to carry. He when it was 2-0, or sorry, 2-7 as the game score, he had both of the kills, and unfortunately, because of the itemization problems, oh, Aurelia might be caught out here. Oh,
It looks like it was the other way
out.
around. Here's the Condemn. He flashed instantly. A beautiful three-man Tibbers by fail mode to disengage the fight. However, that's their main offensive tool down just to save a couple lives. This siege could go in the favor of Industrious Gaming. There's no Gragas Barrel. There's no Tibbers.
No Gragas Barrel, no Tibbers, no nothing really. You're right, those are their two main engagements. Tom Kench probably will not ult to try and get a flank or anything. However, Merc is pretty low on mana. He's not going to be able to do much but auto attack, and as we know, that's kind of Vayne's weakness, right? His auto attacks.
I don't know what game you've been playing, but I'm sure that's what she's best at. However, a nice rotation mid by Industrious Gaming, putting the Trinity Force to work against the turret. Or they're at least attempting to, but Northern Hospitality is not going to get tricked by your simple plots.
Yeah, I'd love to go back to
Lissandra going ham in there, gets instantly hit up. Ooh, the explosion lands after the Frozen Tomb is going down. Still takes damage for it. They're focusing on Tom Kench right now, but that's not a good idea. He's got so many shields. Malkathos doing insane amounts of damage. Transcendent Blade's poking them off. Here comes Echo. He's flanking around the side. He dashes in. They get Tristana. That's Blade of the Ruined King down. The triple proc isn't not enough. Oh my gosh, Zorak barely gets out alive as Afro pops Monsoon to heal him up. They're diving onto Azir. A beautiful wall zones them off of the fight. However, they're still taking a lot of damage, but they turn it on Echo, and he instantly shifts out of there and gets a little bit of health. Although, oh, he just bursted him down with the Blade Surge. There's a 4-on-3 pileup right now. There's a lot going on. Double kill right now. Hidden Shadow coming out big. He's under the turret, though. He's getting killed. Can he make it to safety? Yes, he can. Alright, here comes Tristana for the cleanup. That's one. Is she going to get the reset and go? That's 3 low members of Industrious Gaming. She should be able to clean it up. They're out of health and mana, but they don't want to take the risk. Oh, here it is!
This is Lord Merc. He's
and he instantly buster shots them away, but it's not enough to get the reset. The heal is dropped. Lord Merc baited them. He's got the explosive cast on. He needs the lifesteal from something. He goes down. Tristana gets an extra kill, and Janna saves the day with Eye of the Storm.
And Merc right there was the master tactician, really getting Tristana to jump into all of them. And unfortunately it doesn't go the way. Merc wasn't able to lifesteal off of anything, but that was almost perfect. Almost too good to be true, having a quarter health Vayne just sitting in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. What do you think about Echo's item he just got?
He picks up, actually, let's see, in half of the games now, including this one, we've seen Echo pick up a Frozen Fist. The Sight Stone is pretty normal considering that this is, you know, a lot's on the line. They want a lot of vision so they can rotate properly. But the Frozen Fist is something that I do like. I'm a fan of most of the Sheen items except for, let's see, Lichbane's alright. But Frozen Fist is very potent, especially on Echo, since he does already have a slow. So although they don't stack, if one's on, you know, on cooldown or something like that, he's able to slow them anyways. So it doesn't, so slows don't stack anymore, but he's still able to like chain slow people if his passive is on cooldown, because it can only apply to you once every so many seconds.
Yeah, because by the time one wears out, Kelly's back up, so works great for tanking.
And I'm also looking at the Aurelia build. He went Yomus, and that just blows my mind. It's an item
damage.
Yeah, it's one of those items that it's very good because, well, Aurelia does have a lot of true damage. The physical damage.
Oh, Lissandra flashes in, gets Gallicus in the Frozen Tomb, but Tibbers is down and Lord Merc gets blasted away by a barrel. He's taken out for 2 seconds, but it's not enough to stop the pain train that's been created by Industrious Gaming. Echoes around the backside. He kills the little girl. I think that's pretty messed up that when it comes down to it. Here comes Tom Kench to ult in to zone him off. He protects Malkathos with his big body and shield.
Yep, looks like a disengage. I can't follow it up after talking about a poor 6 or 7 year old girl dying. That's just
that'll ruin your day, man.
This entire that ruined my day. It's like the 6 o'clock news or something, but it's much more okay if we have, you know, actually Oh no, they ruined it. I was gonna say the entirety of Industrious Gaming are girls, but looks like Echo kind of ruined that. So he's just the ladies' man.
Alrighty. Hidden Shadows pushing. Oh, wait a second. Lord Merc has caught him out. The instant Shurima shuffle into the wall, but Vane's like, that's okay, I can shoot you through the wall. You're still in my auto attack range. So, unfortunately for Northern Hospitality there, he gets picked off and a little bit of an overextension.
And all this action is happening, and all I want to do is talk about the Yomus. They're just not even giving me a chance. These games are action-packed. We see Industrious Gaming up. It's about, yeah, 13k gold in 27 minutes. That's probably the most significant lead we've seen all day. Jenna already has her Zeke's Herald and Talisman of Ascension. Those are really the only 2 items you need to protect a Vayne really well.
I don't know if Zeke's Herald it's not Zeke's Herald, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a fight going on. 3-man Tibbers, but Lord Merc still gets the auto attack left. Flashes out to the Monsoon. He's in safety. Lysandra throwing the Ice Claw for a little bit of zone. Janna's playing the frontline tank. It's a little bit of a controversial strategy, and Malcathos punishes her for that. Vayne's right in the midst of the fight, and they can't find the targeting for the damage. He's kiting back, tumbling, shooting. And Aurelia comes in and saves the day. He gets out with a sliver of health. Echo pops the time rewind. He gets healed to safety, and right now Zorak coming up with the triple kill. Playing a little bit of a sleeper role there. They did not expect him to come in with such power.
Yeah, they were tunneled so much on that Vayne that everyone else was just able to do a really good job.
Oh, Tristana's got the stuff down. And by stuff, I mean the explosive cast. Another heal bait. Oh, it's a 1-for-1. However, they did get the ace.
And Hidden Shadow just watches her comrade fall. Alright.
Huh.
Those Aurelia players, man.
Alright, so about that Yomu's. Just kidding,
yeah.
She's fighting Annie right now, and that's probably... She didn't even need Yomu's there. Oh my god, is he going for the 1v4? Oh, Yomu's to run away.
I believe.
In a thing called love.
In a thing called running away with Yomu's, because that's the only reason to build it. But no, it's an interesting item because it does give you armor pen and attack speed, but
so the attack speed gives you true damage, and the true damage gives you healing, and the attack speed lets you kill people.
It does, but I usually opt for Blade over anything. Did she just try and solo Baron?
Yeah, sorry. I was yelling over you because I was very surprised by that.
I was too. We talk about controversial strats. There's the Lysandra 1v1 Baron.
Okay, I feel like they're just messing around now because she just ulted to heal herself. Oh my gosh! Hidden Shadow is not so hidden and more in your face. Very conspicuous.
And he's lower than everyone else now, so everything's a guaranteed stun, so he can just walk away. That's the beauty of Aurelia right there.
Oh, and they get the Baron. Echo stealing it away from Vayne. Darude.
And I would like to touch on the Vayne power spike at 30 minutes. She now has 2 IEs, and yeah.
Is that even necessary? Because
analysis of that, but I can't think of anything. The last time I've seen that happen was Cop from what was it? From Curse built it once, and people were praising him for how smart it was because it was very efficient despite the passive not stacking, and he just said he forgot about it, and that he forgot he built an IE already, so he just accidentally built 2. So people were giving him a bunch of praise and everything for being really smart about it, and in reality he just forgot.
That's pretty hilarious. I know I've heard of the double or triple Phantom Dancer on Vayne before for the extra stacks, but he's just going pure, like, tumble damage. Like, he just wants to get that one big crit.
Did you say cutie pie? Because I heard big crit.
Yes. And Aurelia has an Infinity Edge.
Yeah, so
and
she's sitting
Tristana
on...
has an Infinity Edge.
What is she sitting on? 60-ish? Crit? Let's see. Man, this new interface. She has...
Could you being smart and doing math?
10. Oh man, this math is going to be crazy. 10, 15 is 25.
Lysandra Flash is in with her ultimate, gets a slow on a bunch of members right now. Echo's diving on top of Azir. He burns down, but an auto attack from Merc secures that kill. Echo's popping Zanya for a little bit of style points. He wasn't really in any danger. Oh my god, Merc is just two-shotting people. Here's Tristana. Another 2-shot. Is this the Quadra? Is it? Oh, that shield is insane, but he doesn't care. That's the quad. Is it the Penta? He's going to give it up. Alright, is someone going to steal it? I feel like someone's going to pull a scumbag
I'll
right
check
here.
him in the Penta.
Ah, hidden shadow. It takes it. Get wrecked, Lord Merc. No Penta for you, scrub.
Yeah, he didn't deserve it. Let's be honest, that Aurelia deserved it. He carried that last team fight.
We also know you're very biased towards Aurelia, sir.
That is true. Regardless, 13-38 is the last score, up 24k.
So at this point, oh my gosh, he almost 3-shotted her. Okay, so as you see, the Nexus has finally fallen after much BM. But can you really argue that BM was necessary? They just kicked out Northern Hospitality from the Premier League. Industrious Gaming gets promoted. They could have done it humbly. Come on. But pretty stellar play on their part. Very impressive.
Yeah, who are we to judge? Regardless, Industrious Gaming does take the W in this best of 3, and so they do advance to the Premier League, knocking out Northern Hospitality. And that's honestly enough, not humiliation, because, you know, Northern Hospitality did play that first game quite well. The second one didn't go their way, but the first game was probably the closest we've seen all night.
Yeah, no, both of them are great teams. Nothing against Northern Hospitality, but Industrious Gaming just outplayed them at the end of the day when it comes down to it. So, thanks for tuning in, y'all. We'll be back next week with the Premier League Finals.